Good evening, guys. This is Lebanon coming to you with another video. This video is going to be about maxing out your army size. Now, there's a few different ways to do this and everything. So I'm going to show you based upon my Silver Alt account, and then I will show you based upon my main account. So at first, it's going to be how do we build an army to be able to max it out? And then it's going to be, okay, how do we go through and have it to where our army size can be even bigger because of it? So a lot of people go through and they ask me, how many farms, how many mansions should you really have in the game? This is meant to be a Silver Alt account. So right now, I only really have one, two, three farms that is in this city. This is not exactly like, oh my gosh, I'm going to build a big army out of it. What I would advise for most people when they first start playing the game, until you get to a very, very, very happy place in this game, is to have 8 farms and 16 mansions. The only reason why I say that is because that's what allowed me to be able to go through and grow to where I was getting enough silver to be able to build armies in order to be able to fight. But then I was also be able to keep with 8 farms a decent sized army in order to have it to where I wasn't like super small or anything else like that. Now, ideally, what you would have would basically be like, hey, my profile for my main account is way blown the heck out, and I'm going to have 23 farms so I can be utterly massive. But for a lot of you, you're not at that level, and I completely understand. So we're going to look at on the level that I'm currently sitting at, what would be the best way in order to go through and do this. So very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and kill off the army that I currently have. So I'm going to do Great Marshal. I'm going to have it to where I make sure that my different bonuses are set in place. And this will be a 6-hour bonus, and that works because I'm not going to be fighting that long. Let's get our strength up. By the way, if you have it to where you're not checking your bonuses before you do attacks, you are absolutely insane. Please, 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 always make sure you check your bonuses before you do attacks. All right. Now, with that being said, we're good on that. Our VIP is up and it's good and everything. It still has 49 days left. So let's go through and send an attack against Arachne. Now, granted, this is not going to be a great attack or anything else like that. I'm not trying to do anything out of it. I am trying to kill my army as best I can. So we're going to go through and kill it off. I am going to use a portal just because I do have enough of them. Let's go through and... All right, so we're going to send it up over here. I am not... Well, yeah, might as well send these guys. I could always go through and get them all leveled up. So we're going to deselect all. I do not want to send everybody on this. Oh, I'm going to be end up like using those. Oh, well. Yeah, got to do what you got to do. Right now, I'm having an internal debate as far as whether or not I want to go through and kill these guys now or whatever. Because it's a part of basically me showing you guys how to go through and build a bigger army. You know what? I'll just go through and show you where, like, we're doing it this way. So we're going to start a march. Remember, this is going to be a very, very weak little hit. So don't expect it to be like, oh, show me the battle report as to how big of a hit that is. Yeah, this one sucks. So just get used to it. All right, gave it a little bit of love tap. And we're going to revive our captains, but we're not reviving our armies because it's a part of what I want to do. Number one, I don't need swordsman level 2 anywhere in my army. Just don't. Okay, so ideally and everything, and I'm not going to show it to you because of the fact that I don't want to sacrifice them. It does cost dragon coins. I'm not trying to do this. Plus, it will use up my silver that I have. I do have excess silver and storage, but whatever. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to build our army. I'm going to show you how to do this. Now, if you have it to where you have like 3 farms or whatever, then you kind of can feel the pain of what exactly I'm going through. Right now, per hour, I'm making 820,000 units of food per hour. And that is with every single bonus that I can possibly think of being used. So, like, one way that you can always have it to where you increase your bonus for your food is have it to where you go under tactics, go to economy, and then it says food production in the city. Number one, it's maxed. Food production in the city, number two, maxed. Food production in the city, three. Food production in the city, four. And finally, food production in the city, level five. It's all maxed out. The other thing that you can do is have it to where you are going for, let's go into your city. Let's look at your academy. And we're going down to boost economy. In economy, it has it to where it's food production 1, food production 2, food production 3. Make sure that all of those are maxed out, whether or not we're talking tactics or whether or not we're talking about in the actual academy, boosting it up that way. So that will allow you to make the biggest, amount that you possibly can. The other thing that matters, and I'm going to show you this, is what tile you are on. So right now I am on a tile that's basically in the desert. And if I click on it, it says 90% tile bonus to silver and scientific tractate production. So my silver production is much, much greater because of what tile I'm sitting on. If I was to have it to where I move up here, I would get 70% food production, 90% food production. So if you're in the grass area, and even then, not all grass area is the exact same. Look for the ones that have a 90% bonus, aim for those. And then the other thing about it is, yep. Hold on, up here. Sorry, I had to think about that, guys. All right, under tactics, we're going to go to economy. There is a thing called tile bonus. Ah, there it is. Tile bonus up here. Tile bonus basically makes it to where whatever bonus that you're getting for being under that space in the map, it gives you an extra added like amount that basically goes up. So 50% bonus. So I'm getting the 90% bonus for my farm and food production if I was on that green grass area. But for right now, I'm on silver. So I'm getting, a big, huge 90% bonus plus another 50% on top of that as far as bonus for that. So my silver production now has 140% bonus to it. And also this. So another part, and I think this one at level 2 is, oh, it's also 50%. And then there's another tile bonus over here, another one over here, and another one. You know what? I think there's only 4. Yeah, 4 tile bonuses. So you have your tile bonuses. You also have the tile that you're sitting on bonus and everything. So ideally, what people that want to have big, huge armies and everything, they have a lot of farms in their city. They can max out 23. Also put it on the right tile. So like grass area would be the best area to do it. And then you also have it to where you have your tile bonus in your tactics that also goes through and helps you out. And then you have your under your economy food production all the way the heck up. And I'm just going to check logistics. I'm not sure because I can't remember specifically. Trying to see if there's a tile bonus or something in here. It does not look like it. Okay. So we have everything basically going that we possibly can. It also will depend upon the captains that you currently have. So my captain Helen, which she is awesome. Food production speed is plus 181%. Every single level that she goes up is another percentage to your food production. So if you start to add it up and everything, whether or not it's Helen and everything else, your food production is going to go way the heck up. So let's look at it this way. Right now, I am currently sitting with just my monsters at 583,000 per hour as far as that they're using. Here's what I would advise. When you're building your army, and the only reason why I did not go through and do this is because I didn't want to pay the extra dragon coins and all in order to go through and kill off my monsters as a part of it and have to rebuild them. Your goal is when you're building your army, like let's say I'm building my army right now. I'm going to go through and have it to where I'm like going to train them. And right now, my average, my cost for my guardsmen is 8.75 million per unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to train. And we're just going to add this in. And we have it to where it's now up. Hit train. And we're just going to fastly accelerate it. Because I don't need to worry about speed ups at this point. Thank gosh. All right. So now I'm still under my threshold. Always look to see whether or not you're in the red up here in order to tell whether or not you're actually going overboard. The other thing that will tell you that, hey, you're overboard is when you're looking at this, the amount of silver will change. It'll increase if you go above your threshold. So before you ever go through and start building armies, number one, make sure that Helen is in. Make sure all of your different bonuses are going, including down here on food production. And the other thing that you can also do that is an extra added bonus, which if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. Hit the food consumption button. Food consumption will go through and decrease it by 25% for the army. And then the other good thing is, I think, therefore it probably hopefully is. I don't know if VIP also goes through and adds to gathering speed. Production of all resources plus 50%. Have your VIP bonus going. So if you have your VIP bonus going, plus your personal bonuses going, and then the other one is you can have your Great Marshal going. That is also a 50% bonus to your food production. So with 3 farms, I am totally, utterly maxed out, including Helen, at 820,000 per hour. Now, here's a good tactic for you to be able to do. Have it to when you're building your army. Let's say your army was completely dead and you have none of them. Build your guardsmen first. Now, here's the reason why. When you're building your army and everything and you're below the level, it'll have it to where you will still be where this insignia up here shows up as white. And it will basically cost you the normal level as long as you haven't gone over in this. But if you have it to where you go overboard, the cost increases. The biggest eater or the biggest consumer of your food is going to be your monsters. So if I'm building armies, I build my guardsmen first. So that this way, let's say that I get to 810,000 usage per hour. And I have one more thing that I can build before I go over. I'm going to build monsters last so that this way they might shoot my total up 150,000, but they're going to do it at a normal price. Whereas my guardsmen might only shoot it up 20,000, but then after that, I'll be at 830,000 and I can't go through and increase it anymore because I'm going to be paying a higher cost as a part of it. So I'll build my guardsmen first and I'll build my monsters second. Hopefully you guys understand that. So make sure all of your bonuses are on: VIP, food consumption, food production, Great Marshal as far as for the premiere and everything. And then have it to where you also build your, as part of your army, build your guardsmen first, build your monsters second. And I'm just gonna like build a few more guys and everything, but you'll get the idea. So right now we're just like completing this on out. I know that like as far as what my threshold is for my dudes, I can do like one build of each type of monster. And then it's like, now I'm so close to going over it. Ideally, what I would do is because I'm at 788,000, if I hit guardsman one more time, whether or not we're talking these guys over here or whether or not we're talking these guys over here, I'm gonna go over. So then what I would do would be I would basically go to my dragons or to my elementals, my giants, or my beasts, and I'd be like, you know what? I want extras of these. Hey, I'm on a video.
Can I see some
No,
monsters?
no, I'm on a video. Go upstairs. So, anyways, I'm gonna build my monsters last. So, like right here, I'll go through and add in these guys.
Where do it?
Tyrion, I'm doing a video. Go upstairs. So then I go through and I add these guys in, accelerate on up, and now I'm over. But the good thing is though that instead of being over by like 10,000, now I'm over by 56,000 per hour and everything. So I got more over the limit than I would have if I had not had her, if I had not done it that way. Monsters going last allows you to stretch that limit as high as you can without having to pay for extra. So it's the best way in order to basically build your army and have it to where you can make the biggest army possible without having to pay extra silver per, and also have it to where you're not paying extra, food per, unit. Because like you'll look at your costs. So remember I was like 8.75 million per guardsman. Now it's up at 11.1 million per guardsman. So if you want to make the biggest army possible without it costing you a whole heck of a lot, make sure that all of your bonuses are in place, your food consumption bonus in place, and only do this whenever, like using the food consumption one, only use it for a specific day that you know that you need the biggest army possible. Like if you're big into Clash of Thrones or whatever, then have it to where you hit that food consumption thing before that day starts. This way, for that 24 hours, your army can be massive and you won't be having to pay extra in order to basically go through and create any more units. I mean, granted, if you go over, and then you just got to stop. Yes, otherwise, it's going to get super expensive. 8.75 million turns into 11.1, turns into like 14, 15, 16 million per unit, and it's just not worth it, guys. So always have it to where you build your guardsmen first and then build your monsters last. I was just fortunate that like even though I built my or already had my monsters, I went through and I threw that last bit in at the very tail end of it. So this is basically everything you need to know about maxing out your like your size of your army and everything, using the food consumption button, using Helen, having it to where she's actively there whenever you're going through and training your troops is the best idea possible. And then once you're ready to go through and start fighting, then you switch out your troops and you're like, okay, now I'm going to go for like people that I, am actually going to use to fight. So then you can use, like, oh, it's Arachne Day. I'm going to use Hercules. I'm going to use Cleopatra. And then I can also go through and use like Leonidas because he's my third strongest. So this were my, silver alt account. These are my top 3 people that I would go through and use. Make sure that all the armor is correct and everything else like that. But I'll spare you guys from doing that. But that is how to build the biggest army that you possibly can and not have it cost anything extra. I hope you guys learned something out of this as far as stretching out that limit as far as what you can build before it gets ridiculously expensive. Watch that number. Make sure that all of your bonuses are on, Helen's in, everything else. And if you like all the information, please go through and give me a thumbs up in order to have it to where more people can see it. Also, if the videos are helping you, recommend them to other people in your kingdom. Like, I'd much rather this be everybody knows how to play and everybody's enjoying the game as opposed to only a few people know how to play and everybody else is hating the game, because that's how games die, people. Like people stop playing it, and then the makers of it are like, and we're just going to shut this down. So please recommend it to other people in order to help it out. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you want to message me directly, you can message me either at Tolly in Kingdom 100 or Leffinan, Lefinan. Either which way works. Hopefully, you guys had a good time watching this video, got something out of it. And other than that, that is all I got for you. The next video that I will be doing will probably be another strategy guide video. I'm not sure when exactly that's going to be coming on out, but it should be soon. So just take a look see for it. You guys have a good day. Bye.